But there it is. Look at that. So pretty. Well, I just arrived to this little old town called Chloride, Arizona. Well, I'm not there yet. It's 4 miles up the road. But I just got off the highway because of the pretty sign they have for their cute little town. And I had to get a picture of it. But it's really, 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 really windy here right now. So I'm hoping it's going to be a little bit better when I get into town. Because that's going to be a fun one trying to film. And I'm only passing through, so. But this little old town, it's from the 1800s. And it was a big mining town. Lots and lots of history here. Just in the middle of nowhere. I've always passed by this Chloride sign that they have off the highway, and I always wondered about the little town. I finally looked it up, and then I also had somebody send me an email about this little town right here. I'm pointing over here because that's where the sign is. I had somebody send me an email about this place because they also have up in the mountains above the town, it's called the Surbat Mountains. They have a bunch of paintings, murals on rocks and everything. And so they thought it would be a pretty cool place for me to see and check out. So I did a little bit of research and I just found out that the town Chloride just had so much history to it. So I'm excited to go see this little town and check it out. And I'm hoping that I can meet some locals because who knows best about their own town? Locals. Well, I figured I would stop at this little restaurant, which is also a hotel, and have some breakfast, and hopefully I can meet some locals and talk to them about the history of this pretty awesome, cool little town that there is. Alright, so I figured I'd come have some breakfast, and I met this awesome lady, Cassie. So, yes, I know I'm sitting at a bar, but I'm not drinking because I don't drink. So, it's a Sprite, and I'm waiting on breakfast.
I'll attest to that.
But I wanted to ask her a couple of questions about this awesome, awesome, awesome town. What is the population here, by the way?
So the population is about 250 right now.
250, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then, why don't you just tell me a little bit
Yeah, sure.
about the town?
So Chloride, you have landed in the oldest continuously operating mining town in the state of Arizona. We have the oldest continuously operating church in the state of Arizona, and we have the oldest continuously operating post office in the state of Arizona. We're also home of the very first volunteer fire department in the state of Arizona, and we're very, very fond of our history. So Chloride dates back to the 1860s. It's a mining town, and as the gold rush happened, people started heading west and searching for their fortune. Miners came, and the hill that's right behind us here is called Silver Hill. So the miners started mining there, and settlers started coming in and settling into the area, and they did find silver. There was a miner with two men, a mine with two men, and a mine with four men. And this was also the Wallapai Indian Territory. So the Wallapai Indians, they tolerated them being around. They would kind of watch from afar. Sometimes they would interact with them, and they were, for the most part, friendly. Until one day the men were attacked. Most people don't realize, like, they just think that out of the blue the men were attacked, but what actually happened was that in Kingman, or somewhere close by, one of the Indian chiefs was killed by a drunken white man. And so the word spread throughout the tribes, or throughout the Wallapai tribe, and it's factioned into 5 different tribes. But the word spread, and the Indians revolted. And so they attacked the miners, and out of the 6, only 2 survived. They escaped. They were able to make it their way. One of them only made it halfway. The other one made it all the way to the fort to get the cavalry and come back and reclaim the mine. At that time, the Indians still were not friendly, and it was still war was waging for several years. One of the warriors within the Wallapai Indians, he refused to let the battle go, and he continued to just wage war against any white man that he would see. The Indians kept the pressure on them, and there was no mining that was allowed to happen between 1863 to 1873. Mining probably did happen, but it was not supposed to be officially happening until 1873. A federal peace treaty was signed with the Wallapai Indians. It was officially done, and the Wallapai Indians were then at that time given Grand Canyon West. So they were moved from the area, and then the mining officially began in the area. In the meantime, the Chloride area was already developed, and people were starting to move here and create a little town. And so the population, because the mining happened, and behind us here, the large mountainside is called the Surbat Mountains.
I was going to ask you how to pronounce that.
Yeah, the Surbat Mountains. And so within the Surbat Mountains and the surrounding area, there's 75 to 100 mines hiding all around us.
Wow.
And so there was a lot of mining happening up there. Like I said, they mostly found silver, and our name of the town is Chloride, whose chloride is a product of silver. Mm-hmm. So they mined up there, and the town population grew and grew and grew. It grew to a population of about 2,500. There are some stories out there about 5,000, but no records can support that. 2,500 is about the max. But for that time, it was a very large town. We were the largest town, and now we're talking about 20s and 30s. So that's when we hit the peak, between the 20s and 30s. And so at that time, we were the largest town in all of Mojave County. Some say even probably most of Arizona at the time. I haven't researched that. I don't know. So, but we were very large. We had 6, 7 restaurants, saloons, churches, hotels, brothels, bakeries, all that. Now we have 1 restaurant / saloon / hotel, and this is it. Mm-hmm. Yesterday's restaurant and Shep's Miners Inn. And then the hotel that wraps around it was actually built for the miners, and it was housing for them. They were originally apartments. And they had no bathrooms inside of them at the time. And I can show you the ice room that's out there. Have you saw the little room that says ice on it? When you open it up, that used to be a walkway, and it would take you all the way through to the back side of the hotel where the porta potties were, the outhouses were. But it's closed off and used as a room now. But if you look in there, you can see the walls that are unfinished, and the restaurant and the hotel were all built from the mud from the surrounding area. It's all adobe brick, handmade right here.
Wow.
Yeah, from mud, local mud and water.
this little house right here, it's called the Lorg house. There's lots of these little houses right here, and they're all from the 1800s, and they're still just spread out through the town. Lorg house. I love how this little town just keeps its history all over. Looks like the outhouse back there. Yep. All right, this is the old jail. It's a 2-cell jail. Only 2 cells in there. 1860 is what it says. Still standing. So funny. I asked the local Cassie up there at the restaurant. I'm like, is it still a functioning jail? I mean, I guess if you have people act up, you can just throw them in there. Because that's another interesting fact about this town right here. There's no mayor. There's no police officers. It's just the town people. The last time they had a mayor here was, oh goodness, I have that written, 1930 something. I have it written down. But yeah, everything is just run by the locals here. And it is a town of 250 people, so everybody knows everybody here, and they all look out for each other. Otherwise, I wonder if we can see inside. Oh, that's pretty cool. There's a little hole right there, but there's a rock for you to step on and look in. So I think it was okay. Okay, so where I'm at right now, I am actually up in the mountains. I'm up in the Surbit mountain range, which is right above Chloride. And since I'm up here in these mountains, that means it's higher elevation, so that means the wind is 100 times worse up here. Literally. But this area that I'm in right here, this is how I found out about the town Chloride. I actually had somebody send me an email about the painted rocks in Chloride, and that I should go check them out. And it's actually pretty cool, but just driving up the mountain just now was a little sketchy for me. I don't really do rock crawling anymore, and I'm going to show you guys this little area right here, because it looks like, yeah, you got to do some rock crawling to finish this Merle Canyon where all the painted rocks are. If I had some other people with me, like some other Jeeps with me, then I would go ahead and attempt that, because I know how to rock crawl, I know how to off-road. But when I'm out here by myself and I have no cell signal, I have to be smart. So I'm going to show you guys that road in a minute. And this is the main entrance to where all the painted rocks are. But a cool little story of this. So the guy that did all these painted rocks, which is like over 50 years ago, he actually had autism. And doing these rocks out here, painting them, I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. Just these rocks that I'm looking at right now at the entrance. So it was basically a journey for him doing these rocks with his autism. And they called it the Journey Images from an Inward Search for Self. I love that, because you guys know I'm on a journey myself. So yeah, he came out here, let's see. I'm trying to read the little thing over here. He came out here in 1975, and that's when, oh, he retouched them up in 1975. And then he came out again in 2006. When he celebrated his 70th birthday. So when he came out here and touched them up, the lady in town was telling me that the paint he used was for like cars. So it stays, the color stays vibrant looking and colorful. And it's definitely very vibrant. I'm really disappointed that I can't drive up and see the rest of it, because if the rest of it looks like this, I'm missing out on some things. But once I show you guys this road right here, you'll totally understand. I'm going to walk up it a little bit and see if maybe I can just see a little bit more, but I'm not taking my Jeep. It's a steep incline, and it's lots of rocks, and now my Jeep, even though she was originally built to be a rock crawler, she's not a rock crawler anymore. She's very top heavy, and so I just have to be very smart in situations like this. But let's get out and see this beautiful art right here. And then you got to continue all the way up. I'm just not doing it. But there it is. Look at that. So pretty. Very detailed. Very talented. So you guys can see how windy it is with my hair. And it's high, up through mountains. I just can't, I'm not taking my chance on that. You can still see remains all through these mountains of the mining from back in the days. Like right here. All that over there. So much history in this town. And then these mountains. I can see stuff way up there. Oh, you guys can't see. Way up there. Found another old gas station. Let's go check this one out. These are definitely some old pumps right here. I just saw that it said it's a private home. Oops. Just saw that. So it's actually a private home, but it does say that you can take pictures. So one of the things they have here is like this little ghost town. It's called Cyanide Springs. Now I was thinking that some of the buildings here were some original buildings from back in the 1800s, but they're not. After talking to Miss Cassie in there, in the restaurant, in the saloon, she told me that they're not. I mean, they do a little gunfight thing show here. Just so you can have that little western feel of the place. And they do that every Saturday. But it's still a cute little place. Okay, as I just finished filming the little jail here, I was just about to leave and this red car comes flying up. And I'm like, oh, okay, so they're here to see the jail. But no, this lady right here gets out and she's flagging me down. And she recognized who I was. And another gentleman that just left, he knew who I was too. So that was pretty awesome. But over here, she has a channel also, a YouTube channel. And you guys know I love shouting out other people's YouTube channels. So I'll just let her tell you the name of her YouTube channel real quick.
I'm so proud and so happy to be on my new friend Wandering Jeepsy's channel.
Aww.
Our channel has been around for about a year, a little over a year. I retired here to Arizona, northwestern in Mojave County. My channel is called Retirement Boot Camp. You can watch it if you're not retired. My specialty is helping people have a vision for their retirement and making a plan. That's all you really need to do. You 40-somethings and 50-somethings, you can make it, even if you have a low income. You can plan, have a vision of where you want to go and how you want to do it, and start planning and saving your money. Off-grid Arizona. Thank you very much.
Go check it out. I haven't looked at it yet because the services here is pretty bad, but as soon as I get some service, I'm definitely going to check it out. All right. It was good meeting you.
Thank you. You too.